Hello everyone. Jatin Verma IS Academy has come up with this new course, International Relations and Important Places in News. So we all are aware that due to pandemic, prelim state is uncertain, and that is why we have come up with this new course to strengthen your preparation and utilize this time in a better way. You can also access Jatin Verma's courses on Unacademy Plus. You can also use this referral code JatinYT71 to get 10% discount on the same. Other courses by Jatin Verma for 2021: Governance course, Internal Security, Disaster Management, International Relations, courses on social issues, Quarterly Current Affairs Roundup. You can also visit jatinverma.org to know more about the daily news summaries and to get daily news analysis. You can also log in and download PT Reckoner 2020. Other courses: Mission UPSC CSE 2021 full year batch course in Hindi medium. You can use Jatin Verma 71 referral code to get discount on the same. Now, International Relation and Important Places in News for Prelims 2020. Why it is important to read International Relation for Prelims? If you go and see past 4-5 years paper, the weightage of International Relation and Important Places in News have increased. And when you will see these questions, you will find that these are very easy questions, and that is why I call them low hanging fruits. If you just know the news, you can mark the answer correctly. So let's start with the session. The topics to be covered by me in this session are: extradition treaty between India and Belgium, India pushes for affordable access to drugs at G20 meet, places in news, Chagos Archipelago, Subic Bay and Nalbana Sanctuary. Let's start with the topic extradition treaty between India and Belgium. So why it was in news? It is very important to know why it was in news. It was in news because the Union Cabinet recently has ratified the extradition treaty between Republic of India and Kingdom of Belgium. So what is the background? Why we needed a new treaty when we already had a pre-independence treaty? So the pre-independence treaty was having so many offences which were obsolete now, and that is why we needed a new treaty. Salient features of the new treaty: obligation to extradite. Each party agrees to extradite to the other one any person found in its territory who is accused or convicted of an extraditable offence in the territory of the other party. So what are extraditable offences? It is very important that we should know that what are extraditable offences. An extraditable offence means an offence punishable under laws of both the parties with imprisonment for a period of 1 year or more severe punishment. So now both the parties will be obligated to extradite, and offences will include the punishable offences only, which are punishable with imprisonment for a period of 1 year or more. Offences of fiscal character are also included in this new treaty. This is very important. Why we have included offences of fiscal character? Because there are so many fugitive economic offenders who are committing the crime and then moving to another country. Mandatory grounds for refusal. So under the treaty, these are the grounds on which extradition can be refused. The offence involved is a political offence, or the offence for which extradition is requested is a military offence. The request for prosecution has been made for the purpose of prosecuting or punishing the person on account of his race, sex, religion, nationality or political opinion. You also know that as per Indian Constitution, there can be no discrimination on ground of race, sex or religion. And as per Article 19 of Indian Constitution, political opinion comes under the freedom of speech. So these will be the grounds for refusal. The nationality will be determined at the time the offence was committed. So what happens? Someone is committing the crime and then moving to another country and getting the citizenship there. To remove this, now we have decided that the nationality will be determined at the time the offence was committed. This is also very important. Now what are the benefits? The benefit is that it would provide a legal framework for seeking extradition of terrorists, economic offenders and other criminals from and to Belgium. So what is extradition definition? As per Supreme Court of India, extradition is the delivery on the part of one state to another of those whom it is desired to deal with for crimes of which they have been accused or convicted and are justifiable in the courts of other state. So that offences should be justifiable in the courts of other state as well. Now request for extradition, which is the nodal authority. So Ministry of External Affairs will be the nodal authority for the request for extradition. Now more about extradition. Legal basis for extradition: the Extradition Act 1962. It provides a legislative basis for extradition in India, as it led to the consolidation of the law related to extradition of criminal fugitives from India to foreign state. The Indian Extradition Act was amended in 1993 also. So again, which will be the nodal authority? Consular, Passport and Visa Division will be coordinating with Ministry of External Affairs. So now we'll see the Belgium location in map. It is very important. If some country or some place is in news, we should go and see the location of that place in map. It is important for prelims as well. So Belgium is surrounded by France, Germany, Netherlands, and one small country is there, Luxembourg. We can also see that North Sea is located just above the Belgium. And one more important thing, that Belgium is not landlocked country. Please remember it, Belgium is not landlocked country. Now between Belgium and United Kingdom, English Channel is there. You should also know that. Now coming to the MCQ. Recently India ratified extradition treaty with which European country? So India ratified extradition treaty, just now we have read. The answer is Belgium. Correct answer C. So why this question? So in UPSC CSE 2019, India signed a deal as action plan for prioritization and implementation of cooperation areas in the nuclear field. So this question was asked in 2019, and it is very important. Just by knowing the news, you can answer this question easily. It was in news in October 2018. So it is very easy to answer that India signed a deal with Russia. So that is why reading these treaties and signing the deals are important for prelims perspective. India pushes for affordable access to drugs at G20 meet. Our new topic is India pushes for affordable access to drugs at G20 meet. So why it was in news? It was in news because to effectively fight the coronavirus pandemic, India's trade minister at the G20 meet has urged to work towards creating a global framework for further enhancing cooperation across national borders. Now what is the background of it? This year G20 presidency, Saudi Arabia is holding the G20 presidency. It rotates every year. Please remember, it rotates every year, and Saudi Arabia announced to convene an extraordinary session for preparing a common strategy to tackle the challenge posed by COVID-19. The move comes amid fears of world slipping into recession. So what is happening when countries are closing their borders, trade restrictions are imposed, so demand supply gap is increasing. That is why there are fears that world will slip into recession and it will be worse than 2008 financial crisis. So what are the key highlights of G20 trade ministers meeting? So the key highlights were the G20 is going to undertake immediate necessary measures to facilitate trade in those essential goods. Essential goods supply is very much needed during this time. And next is emergency measures taken during COVID-19 should not create unnecessary barriers to trade or disruption to global supply chains and to be consistent with WTO rules. So G20 is saying that even if you are putting the restriction, that should not be unnecessary and that should be consistent with WTO rules. The members have also been asked at the meeting to refrain from new export restriction on critical medical supplies, which is very important during this pandemic. Again, then members also urged to eliminate or reduce tariff on COVID-19 related products. They also highlighted the need to lower or temporarily suspend tariffs and export taxes on food and other basic goods. So what is significance of India's pharmaceutical products in the current crisis? So India has been dependable and affordable source for high quality medical and pharmaceutical products. We know India is known as medical hub of this world, and with improved regulatory and R&D cooperation, India can further enhance its capabilities to serve the world in a crisis like this. So what is India's stand at the meeting of G20 trade ministers? Essential services. There is need to ensure non-disruption in the supply of goods and services, most importantly that of vital medicines and food products. Trade facilitative response. India has also urged its free trade agreement partners to allow import of goods without certificate of origin for time being. That is also to secure the supply of essential goods and services. Now again, India highlighted the government of India's effort to fill in strategic petroleum reserves. This is very important for prelims, India's strategic petroleum reserves. Coming to this, why it is being created, India's strategic petroleum reserves. Because India is a fuel deficit country and we should create a cushion for external supply shocks. So it refers to the emergency fuel storage maintained by Indian Strategic Petroleum Reserves Limited. Please remember this, that ISPR is maintained by Indian Strategic Petroleum Reserves Limited. What is that? Now it is a special purpose vehicle, wholly owned subsidiary. Please remember this, wholly owned subsidiary of Oil Industry Development Board under the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. These storages are at Mangalore, Karnataka, Visakhapatnam, Padur as per phase 1. So there are two phases. In phase 1, we'll be creating storage of 5.3 MMT. In phase 2, we are adding up 6.5 million tons. And the locations will be Chandikhol, Odisha and Udupi, Karnataka through PPP. This is important. It is being created through PPP model. So see this image. The objective of Strategic Petroleum Reserve is to create cushion during external supply disruption and to ensure energy security. Just now in previous slide we read that 5.3 MMT storage will be created and 3 locations are included in that: Visakhapatnam, Mangalore and Padur. Now about G20. It is very important. The G20 meeting, it is an annual gathering of finance ministers and head of state representing the members. Initially, attendance of G20 summit was limited to the finance ministers and central bank governors of members when it was established 17 years ago. So what is the history of G20? After the Asian financial crisis, the countries thought there should be a platform where they can coordinate on international financial system to prevent it from any other crisis. So the first G20 summit held in Berlin. Please remember this, it held in Berlin in December 1999. About membership and leadership of Group of 20. So membership, the G20 includes European Union and 19 countries. So remember this European Union, question on membership can be asked. So please remember European Union is a member of G20. Along with European Union, other members are Argentina, Australia, Brazil, China, India, Indonesia, Mexico, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, South Korea and Turkey. Please remember that BRICS members are also member of G20. This is important for prelims, that BRICS member Brazil, China, India, Russia and South Africa are members of G20 also. Other international organizations which attend its summit: IMF, World Bank, United Nations and Financial Stability Board along with World Trade Organization. The chairmanship of G20 summit rotates among 4 group of countries. The host country of G20 summit leads the group over the course of 1 year. Now, Sherpas. Sherpas is very important term for prelims. Sherpas are representative of leaders of G20 member countries, coordinate on the agenda of summit. Former Union Minister Suresh Prabhu was India's Sherpa at Osaka G20 summit. So please remember, Sherpas are representative of leaders of G20 member countries. There are 2 tracks in G20, finance track and development track. Finance track is managed by the secretary as India's deputy to G20. The development track is coordinated by Sherpa. Again I repeat, Sherpas are representative of leaders of G20 members. Coming to the next topic, places in news. So Chagos Archipelago was in news. Why it was in news? The UN had given the UK 6 months to give up its control over the Chagos Island, but that period has now passed. Last year in May, the UN General Assembly voted in favor of Chagos Island being returned, with 116 states backing the move. This is very important that 116 states backed Mauritius on this. And about Chagos, the Chagos archipelago are a group of 7 atolls. What are atolls? Atolls are made up of corals. So it comprises more than 60 individual tropical islands in the Indian Ocean, about 500 kilometers south of Maldives. Now see this map, Chagos location. It is between Seychelles and Mauritius. Please remember the order also: Sri Lanka, Maldives, Seychelles, Chagos and Mauritius. You can also use this trick, SMS to CM. S for Sri Lanka, M for Maldives, S for Seychelles, C for Chagos and M for Mauritius. We should know the order so that ऐसा भी question आ सकता है कि arrange these countries in order of north to south or south to north. So please remember SMS to CM. Coming to the MCQ, Chagos archipelago, a disputed territory between Britain and Malaysia, is located in Indian Ocean. So answer is Indian Ocean because in previous slide we read that Indian Ocean, it is located in Indian Ocean. Now why this question? Which of the following is geography closest to Great Nicobar? This question was asked in CSE 2017. Now we'll see the map. See this map. Now Sri Lanka is very far from Great Nicobar. We can easily see that Sumatra is the closest one. That is why I say that if you know little bit about the news and you are observing the map also, you can easily score in these kind of questions. Coming to the next topic, Subic Bay. Why it was in news? It was in news because 4 new species of fishes were discovered here. Subic Bay, please remember that it is an extension of South China Sea. So if the question is asked where Subic Bay is located, in which ocean, so that is Pacific Ocean and in South China Sea. So Subic Bay is a bay on the west coast of island of Luzon in the Philippines, about 100 kilometers northwest of Manila Bay. It is an extension of South China Sea. I have already told you its shores were formerly the site of major United States Navy facility. Coming to the next topic, Strait of Hormuz. It is very important not only geographically but it is also important strategically. So when you see this, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Oman, all these countries are oil exporting countries. So you can easily know the importance of Strait of Hormuz because it connects 2 Gulf, Persian Gulf and Gulf of Oman. So it is a choke point and अगर इसको कोई country block कर देती है तो सिर्फ oil exporting countries पे उसका impact नहीं होगा, but it will also impact the countries which are importing oil, क्योंकि oil का जो supply है वो कम होगा और demand वैसे ही रहेगी तो price increase होगा. That is why it is a concern not only for oil exporting countries but oil importing countries as well. So why it was in news? Evidence suggested that Iran has deployed an array of anti-ship missiles and large rockets overlooking the Strait of Hormuz. In the previous slide, I told that it is vital for the supply of oil from the Arab states of the Persian Gulf. The Indian Navy has also commenced security operation called Operation Sankalp. This is very important, Operation Sankalp, in order to ensure safe passage of Indian flag vessels through the Strait of Hormuz. So more about this strait. It is a strait between Persian Gulf and Gulf of Oman. See this map, it is a strait between Persian Gulf and Gulf of Oman. So which 2 countries are it is separating? That is Iran and Oman. I'll tell you how it is separating Iran and Oman in the next slide. And almost 25% of total global oil consumption passes through this strait. So we can know the importance of this strait geographically, strategically, as well as for India also. So coming to the MCQ, which of the following countries are separated by the Strait of Hormuz? So in the previous slide I told it separates Iran and Oman. So correct answer is A, Iran and Oman. How? So see this map. This is small territory, it belongs to Oman. That is why it separates Iran and Oman. Please remember this. It is not separating Iran and UAE. UAE is a basin state, but it is not separating it. So why this question? In 2017 CSE, UPSC has asked this question: Mediterranean Sea is a border of which of the following countries? So options are Jordan, Iraq, Lebanon and Syria. So if we go through the options, we can easily eliminate Iraq, because we know that Iraq doesn't touch Mediterranean Sea. So now we are left with option C and D. We can easily eliminate A and B. Now see this map. Whenever you are reading the map, you should pay attention to the exceptions. See Jordan. Due to Israel and Palestine, it is not touching Mediterranean Sea. So it is very important, and that is why I tell that please read exceptions as well. Now you can easily answer this question by removing Jordan. So the correct answer is C, 3 and 4 only. Now coming to the next topic, Nalbana Bird Sanctuary. So why it was in news? After 5 years, Great Knot, it is an international migratory bird. It was seen here. So it is very important. Now it is listed as endangered under International Union for Conservation of Nature Red List. You know that International Union Conservation of Nature publishes this red list. So it is listed as endangered. This is important for prelims as well. So more about it. Last year 3,97,000 migratory birds had arrived in Nalbana during the winter. Nalbana was declared a bird sanctuary under the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Please remember, bird sanctuaries are also declared under the Wildlife Protection Act in 1972. The island disappears during the monsoon due to inundation, only to emerge again post monsoon. This is important fact. You can see this bird. The Nalbana Island or Nalbana Bird Sanctuary inside the lake continued to be the most favored destination for the birds. Please remember this. This Nalbana Bird Sanctuary is located inside the Chilka Lake. It is important fact that it is located in Chilka Lake. So next is Nalbana and Mangla Jodi are two major places in Chilka where the birds congregate. Chilka Lake is Asia's largest and world's second largest lagoon. This is an important fact. Please remember this. Chilka Lake is Asia's largest and world's second largest lagoon. And also remember, Nalbana and Mangla Jodi are places in Chilka Lake. Now you can see the location of Chilka Lake. It is in Odisha, and there are other Ramsar sites also. We'll try to cover these sites in our environment module. Coming to the MCQ. Which of the following places is located in Chilka Wildlife Sanctuary? So just now we have read, the correct answer is Nalbana Bird Sanctuary. So why this question? Because again in UPSC 2019 this kind of question was asked, which of the following are in Agast Malai Biosphere Reserve? The same kind of question can be asked, which of the following are included in are located in Chilka Lake? So the correct answer is A. Now I hope you like the video, and if you like the video, please if you like this session, please comment and let me know in the comment section if you want me to discuss on some other topics which are important for exam as well. You can access all of Jatin Verma courses on Unacademy Plus, and please like the session. I'll try to continue and include more topics into it so that it is beneficial for you also. And thanks to all of you. Keep learning, be safe, stay home. Thank you.